Welcome to the Old Time Radio Westerns. I'm your host, Andrew Rhynes, and I'm excited to bring you another episode. This is one of over 80 episodes released monthly for your enjoyment. You can find more Western shows at our website by going to OTRwesterns.com. Now, let's get into this episode.
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty "Hi-yo, Silver!" The Lone Ranger. His faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains, led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. Nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver. Let's go, big fella. Hi-yo, Silver! Hi!
The Lone Ranger and Tonto rode a hillside trail overlooking a valley. Suddenly, Tonto pointed to the valley.
Look, Emissary. Stagecoach go plenty fast along Valley Trail.
That looks more like a private coach, Tonto. It is moving at top speed, though, and Oh, wait. 4 horsemen are riding down the slope to intercept it.
Them outlaws, maybe.
Come on, Silver!
Come up, scout.
The masked man and Indian turned from the hill trail toward the valley. Drawing their guns, they opened fire.
Outlaws turn back right into woods.
The coach driver is slumped down on the seat. He must be wounded. The horses are running wild. We'll have to stop them. Come on, Silver! Hush the big fella!
Come up, scout.
Within a few moments, the Lone Ranger and Tonto reached the valley trail and swerved to take positions on either side of the frightened and wildly running coach horses. Gradually, the masked man drew alongside one of the lead horses. Then, with a mighty effort, he sprang.
Made it! Ho! Ho there! Ho! Ho! Ho now! Ho! Easy, steady, big fella. See about the driver, Tonto. I'll look after the passengers.
Easy, scout, easy, fella.
Another of the bandits.
Oh, no, monsieur. I know this masked man.
Governor, I didn't expect to find you in this coach.
And I didn't expect such a fortunate meeting with you and Tonto, my friend.
Well, this I do not understand, Governor. A masked man and an Indian?
Monsieur Lamont, the masked man and Indian are well known to me, as well as to official Washington. They help to keep law and order in the West. My friend, Meet Monsieur Lamont, special emissary from Napoleon III to the court of Emperor Maximilian of Mexico.
I'm honored to meet you, Monsieur Lamont.
I, too, am honored, monsieur, to meet one whom the governor of Texas calls his friend.
Driver have shoulder wound, Kim Sabi. Him not be able to drive coach now.
We'll bandage his wound and put him into the coach, Tonto. I'll drive the governor and his guest to Austin. You ride with us and lead Silver.
Me glad to see Governor again.
And I'm happier than words can tell that we've met you and the Lone Ranger, Tonto. Outlaws began to attack the coach some distance back. Our escort of troopers stopped to ward them off while we came on at top speed. Evidently, others were waiting ahead of us in anticipation of just such a move. The troopers are still fighting back there. They'll follow later. Oh, if it hadn't been for you two men...
Then you think those outlaws knew you were in this coach, Governor, and planned this attack beforehand?
I'm sure they knew Monsieur Lamont is in this coach, sir. I'm also sure they're not ordinary outlaws, but hired cutthroats sent out to intercept the emissary, prevent him from reaching his destination.
Then I suggest we leave at once for Austin. When we reach your mansion, we'll get the details. It's better that we go before they gather forces and try again. I'll take the reins now.
After Tonto helped the driver into the coach, the Lone Ranger started the vehicle toward Austin.
Get up there! Come on, get up!
Later, at the governor's mansion, which they reached under cover of darkness, the Lone Ranger and Tonto listened as the governor spoke.
Secretary of State Seward promised Monsieur Lamont safe passage to the border. At the Montez Hacienda, Nuevo Laredo, just across the border, he's to wait for an escort detachment sent by Maximilian to safeguard him to Mexico City.
My orders are to see Emperor Maximilian. I dare not turn back.
Yet events have shown that from here in it's most dangerous for you, even with a military escort, monsieur. Oh, if there were only some other way.
I have an idea, Governor. If Monsieur Lamont is willing, I suggest he give up the private coach, dressed in Western clothes, ride horseback with Tonto meets Nuevo Laredo, whereas his hirelings wouldn't be watching for three seemingly ordinary riders.
That's a great idea, sir.
I am most willing, but, of course,
Well, sir?
the mask, monsieur, it will attract attention, and
I'll disguise my features and ride without my mask.
Fine, fine. You and Monsieur Lamont are about the same size and build. You might pass for brothers. Oh, I'm relieved that you and Tonto are willing to take the responsibility of safeguarding Napoleon's emissary. I know he'll be safe in your hands.
We'll do everything possible to see him safely to the Mexican military escort, Governor. We'll leave at dawn for the border.
That same night, in a cabin outside the town of Austin, a Mexican officer dressed in Western clothes paced the floor as he talked strongly to a group of sullen-faced men.
You, Senor Pete. There were 4 of you. But you turn and ride away because 2 hombres come down the slope firing at you.
The 2 hombres you're talking about aren't like ordinary cowpokes, Captain. When I saw one of them wore a black mask and rode a white stallion, and that the other was an Injun on a paint, I decided it was time to get away from there pronto.
And what is there about the masked man in Indian you fear, senor?
Well, if you hang around in Texas long enough, Captain, you'll learn a lot about him. He's known as the Lone Ranger. Those 2 hombres are dynamite.
I have heard of the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. With them in the picture, it's going to be tough for you to get to that emissary.
Doggone right it is.
We must get to him before Emperor Maximilian's detachment of guards meet him. He is certain to carry a sealed dispatch from Napoleon III to the Emperor stating France's intentions.
Well, how you planning to do it?
Those of you who are still able to ride will watch at the edge of town for the departure of the emissary's coach from Austin.
Yeah.
I will go ahead to Nuevo Laredo to my hidden camp, where a squad of anti-imperialist Mexican soldiers are waiting. Send word to me there where the emissary will wait for the Imperial Guards. We'll do the rest.
All right.
At dawn, the Lone Ranger and Tonto left with the emissary, who was dressed in Western clothes. The journey to Nuevo Laredo, a Mexican town just across the Rio Grande, was made without further incident. Upon showing his credentials, the emissary was well received by Senor Montez at his hacienda, where the Frenchman was to wait for the Imperial Guards. Meanwhile, Pete arrived at the captain's camp to make a report.
Whoa, steady there. Lucky for you, Captain, I decided to have one of our men go right into town and watch the governor's mansion. He saw 3 riders leave at dawn. One was riding a white stallion. The other was an Injun.
And the third?
He looked like an ordinary rancher. But after we waited a long time and the coach didn't leave, it suddenly came to me that the Lone Ranger slipped something over on us. I'm sure the third rider was the Frenchman dressed in Western clothes.
Ah, that is possible. It would be a clever way to resume the journey without causing suspicion.
Yeah. Well, we trailed the three of them to Hacienda on the edge of Nuevo Laredo. I can take you there when you want to go.
The sun will soon be setting, and we'll go there and face the emissary. As for the Lone Ranger and the Indian, they will be shot for interfering with our plans.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger adventure. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now to continue. At the Hacienda, the Lone Ranger and Tonto had been introduced to Senor Montez by the emissary. Their kindly host smiled as he spoke to the masked man and Indian.
Senores, I have heard much of your exploits in the States. I am most delighted to have you as my guests.
Thank you, Senor Montez.
It is kind of you to give protection to Napoleon's emissary. Our emperor will be pleased.
I have done so because our State Department promised safe conduct across the United States for Monsieur Lamont. We in America don't want to interfere in the politics of your country, Senor.
Of course, I understand. The Imperial escort should arrive here sometime during the night.
We'll stay until the escort arrives. With your permission, Senor.
Oh, I shall be relieved and delighted, Senor.
Do you think those outlaws found out that we came here on horseback, monsieur?
It's possible. We'll keep watch as a precaution.
That good idea, Kemosabe. We go now into patio.
A short time later, Tonto returned and drew the Lone Ranger aside.
Oh, what is it, Tonto?
Me see feller sneaking back through trees. Then he mount right way.
Oh, they found out we're here.
That's what me think. If many gunmen come, it not be good. Sooner be dark and them able to sneak the house.
We couldn't hold them off long. We must see to it that the emissary is protected until he's turned over to the Emperor's guards. I have an idea. Those men want the emissary. The man who might be spying saw you and me right away toward the States. He wouldn't try to interfere.
But if we leave...
I'll change clothes with the Frenchman. Then, wearing my mask and riding silver, he'll go with you to Fort McIntosh, a few miles up the other side of the Rio Grande.
And then what we do?
The governor gave me a note in case we needed the help of troopers on the way here. With that and the emissary's credentials, you'll be readily received. I'll ask the commandant to send the emissary back here with troops. And that way, he'll be safe. They'll guard him here until the Emperor's soldiers arrive.
That plenty good idea. But if gunmen move in while we gone, you be in heap danger.
I'll handle that when it happens. Come on, we'll tell the others of our plan and have you start across the border to the fort.
Dusk had fallen when Pete, who had again gone to spy on the Hacienda, returned to the captain's camp outside of town and reported that the masked man and Indian had left. Later at the Hacienda, The Lone Ranger, with his features disguised and wearing the clothes formerly worn by the emissary, was talking to Senor Montez.
Now, if men come here looking for the emissary, I'll try to bluff them into thinking I'm just an ordinary guest of yours, Senor Montez.
You're taking a great risk, senor. They may know the emissary reached here, and if they saw the two riders leaving a while ago, they may think you are the Frenchman.
Maybe so.
The men behind those attacks are clever, senor. General Juarez would send one of his best men to command such a mission. Oh, this may be the trouble we've expected.
All right, open the door. I'll have my guns ready.
Step aside, senor. We have come to see your guest.
I'll wait.
Those guns are useless. My soldiers are at the windows with rifles. Drop them, my friend. So, you're the emissary from Napoleon III, no?
No.
If you deny it, we shoot your host. Grab him. This is an outrage. The Emperor will have you all shot.
Attendez, Monsieur Capitan. If you wish me to say I am the emissary, voila, it is so.
But, senor...
The Capitan is most clever, mon ami. It is better this way.
Tie this senor to a chair.
Sure thing, Captain.
Now, senor emissary, I want the dispatch you are carrying to Maximilian from Napoleon.
There is no dispatch. I have said enough. I speak no more.
Tie his hands, senors. Then I shall force him to talk.
Two Mexican soldiers stepped forward and grasped the Lone Ranger by either arm. For a moment, anger got the better of him.
Voila, I do this.
No!
And this.
No!
And this, oui?
Hey, stop him! Hold it or I'll train you, Frenchie.
I do not argue with guns.
Wait, Senor Pete. Do not kill him yet.
But from now on, I'll sure keep him covered. Hold your hands high, mister. Put him up.
Voila.
You men, get up. Search him. We shall hold the guns ready.
The Lone Ranger submitted to the search, which produced nothing. He realized he had to pretend to be the emissary to protect Senor Montez, and hoped he might prolong matters until Tonto and the troops arrived. The Mexican captain was fast becoming angry.
Caramba! We've found nothing.
Make him talk, Captain. Make him tell what he has to say to Maximilian.
See, we shall force him to talk. Speak up, Senor Emissary. What message do you bring?
I have nothing to say.
Tie him to a chair. Then we search the entire hacienda for the dispatch he must have carried.
After tying the Lone Ranger, considerable time was spent by the soldiers as they made a thorough search of the many rooms, but without success. Finally, the captain spoke again.
Pete, we have found nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I told you to force him to talk, Captain. He must have memorized a message for the Emperor. I say beat him till he does tell you.
That is not so good. If he is beaten into insensibility...
Well, a little slapping around might help. He can't be so brave as he makes out to be.
I shall try. Tell us the message.
No.
Where's the dispatch?
You.
Look, he's trying to break loose. Acting brave won't get you anything, mister.
We did not think a Frenchman would be so obstinate.
Let me bang him around. You get something from him and know the reason why.
No, we have wasted much time. The dawn comes early. It will soon be getting light.
Well, what of it?
I shall give him until dawn to speak out. If he does not, he will be shot. He will have time to think things over in the company of his host. Come along.
The captain and his men left the room, but the Lone Ranger saw guards watching through the windows. Senor Montez was the first to speak.
Senor, why do you not tell them you are not the emissary?
They threaten to kill you if I tell them that. I'll keep up the pretense and try to do credit to the emissary until help comes.
But it may not come, senor. Soon it will be light. They will shoot you. I shall tell them.
No.
Capitan! Capitan!
Why do you call, senor?
This man is not the emissary. That is the truth. If
Keep
you will...
your lies in your throat, senor.
But-
We're not interested in what you tell us.
It is hopeless. He does not believe me.
We'll hope for the best. That's all we can do.
Later, when the rays of the rising sun shone over the horizon, the captain and his men returned to the room in which the captives waited.
Perhaps you are ready to talk now, senor emissary.
No.
Untie him and bring him outside.
All right.
The soldiers surrounded the Lone Ranger and walked him outside. At the captain's directions, they went behind the hacienda. then stopped for further orders.
Now what, Captain?
We shall prove this French emissary a coward, Senor Pete, in front of these soldiers. We shall spread the word that Napoleon sent a coward to deal with the Emperor.
What do you plan to do?
It is 50 yards from here to the river bluff, under which there is a sandy ledge.
Yeah, you had us check on that a while ago.
This hombre will be given a chance. If he is brave, he will walk toward the edge of the bluff. I shall fire 2 shots over his head. After that, I shall command the soldiers to shoot a volley. To shoot to kill. If he is a coward, he will run like a scared rabbit. Start now, Senor Emissary.
Oui, Captain.
Slowly, the Lone Ranger walked forward. The first shot rang out. The masked man knew that walk or run, he had no chance in spite of what the captain had said. He was determined not to act the coward in front of the leering soldiers. The second shot sounded. With perspiration beading his forehead, the Lone Ranger moved on. He instinctively braced himself for the volley which he expected to follow. Then, the Lone Ranger flung himself to the ground as many shots were heard. Then he realized the shots had come from a different direction.
You all right, Emissary?
Yes, Tonto. Thank heaven you got here. Give me a gun.
Here.
Thanks. Come on.
The Lone Ranger and Tonto gave their attention to helping in the fight. The American troopers had taken the captain and his men completely by surprise. Before long, a bugle call indicated that the battle was successfully ended. As the Mexican renegades and the gunmen helping them threw down their guns, the Emperor's Imperial Guards appeared.
The emissary's Imperial escort has arrived. We'll go inside, Tonto. The troopers will handle this now.
Later, inside the hacienda, Senor Montez spoke with feeling to the Lone Ranger.
Senor, you are magnificent. You saved not only the honor of the Emperor Maximilian, but also of the French emissary.
Oui, I am much in your debt, monsieur.
Well, frankly, I felt the honor of the United States was at stake. The promise made to safely deliver you, Monsieur Lamont, to Maximilian's escort had to be upheld. I hope your journey from here to Mexico City is a pleasant one.
Thank you, monsieur.
The Imperial Guards have taken the Capitan and his men into custody. The American troopers are taking back the American gunmen. Here are your guns, senor.
Good, and thank you, sir. Tonto and I'll return to the United States now. Someday, senor, we'll meet you again, and you too, Monsieur Lamont. Adios.
Hasta la vista.
Adieu, monsieur. Monsieur Montez, that man, he is such as I have never met before. Who is he?
One whom both Maximilian and your Emperor Napoleon III would no doubt desire to have in their service, Senor Emissary. But his loyalty is all for his own country. Yes, he is one great Americano, who is known across the border as the Lone Ranger.
This is a feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated, created by George W. Trendle, produced by Trendle Campbell Muir Incorporated, directed by Charles D. Livingston, and edited by Fran Striker. The part of the Lone Ranger is played by Brace Beemer.
This has been a presentation of OTRWesterns.com, and we hope you enjoyed. Please take some time to like and rate this episode within your favorite podcast application. Follow us on Facebook by going to OTRWesterns.com/Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel by going to OTRWesterns.com/YouTube. Become one of our ranch hands and unlock some exclusive content. We want to thank our most recent ranch hands, Steve, who joined us recently. You too can join by going to OTRWesterns.com/donate. Send us an email, podcast@OTRWesterns.com, and you can call and leave us a voicemail, 707-986-8739. This episode is copyrighted under the attribution non-commercial share-alike copyright. For more information, go to OTRWesterns.com/copyright. Have a great day, and thanks for listening.